Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Heritage. And today we decided to actually look at the other half of this week's podcast. We talked about Newgrange and, figured it'd probably be a logical idea to talk about the site itself and its heritage on UNESCO.
Yeah, Stonehenge already got a video, so now Newgrange is getting one too.
He was feeling kind of left out, so, we kind of
Uh,
had to
Dad,
technically
it's
older
from
brother.
your people,
Hey, they're yours too.
from your half of the island.
Okay, yeah, that's
Anyway,
true.
It
anyway,
wasn't for my half.
I heard he was referencing
anyway,
me.
I
anyway.
know, but still
So-
mine too.
yeah, whatever. You two can share.
You don't count.
You're Easterners. You're Easterners, right? So this is in Leinster. It is in the County Meath, 40 kilometers north of Dublin, between the rivers Boyne and Mattock. It is the official UNESCO name for the entire site is Bruna Boyne because it is not one single structure but several. The main structures being Newgrange, Noath, and Douth, all of which are megalithic structures dating from either the Mesolithic or Neolithic periods.
Which, and the other thing too
Yeah.
is this site and these monuments represent the largest and most important expression of megalithic art in Europe. That is a big, big accolade.
Oh yeah, that is major because we are out doing what's that cave in France that everyone likes to talk about? The one that got closed down.
Like,
Right. The one that got shut down because tourists breathed too much.
yes.
Oh,
Lascaux.
yeah.
It's been like three
Lascaux.
videos and now we can't remember it.
Yes, the Lascaux cave art.
Yeah. Yeah, we're out doing Lascaux. You're out doing Stonehenge. You're out doing a lot of major stoneworks to get that title. It is hefty competition.
But then, even on top of that, it also has a large concentration of social, economic, funerary monuments that are an important center for religious and cultural practices from prehistory all the way to late medieval.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked briefly about the mythology associated with the site. Like, this was a prehistoric monument that was incorporated into Celtic lore, Gaelic lore.
Yes, and it is one of the very impressive things with this site is with UNESCO they have given it a full stamp of authenticity for Bruna Brain, stating that the archaeological remains both above and below ground are wholly authentic, which is something that, given how old this is and how often humans like to reuse things and reshape them to their will. It's something that's very hard to get because it's saying that this has not been significantly tampered with in any way that we know,
Well,
and that's impressive.
it has a little bit, and I think it's important we should talk about that real quick. The
Yeah.
actual mound itself of Newgrange, the reason it was discovered or rediscovered, I should say, was based upon a contractor in the 1600s going to try and use some of the stone for a construction project when they encountered the entrance. And
Yeah, it was Campbell, and he wanted his servants to move some of the stones for his projects.
so they found all these stones, which were then later built with the mound, and then in more recent antiquity, we had someone reconstruct the mound in the way that they thought it would be originally designed, because when the site was rediscovered, the mound had slumped and all of the rock walls had collapsed
Yeah.
outward,
Yes.
not inward.
Yes, and all these endeavors have been found to be in accordance with Article 7 of the International Charter for Archaeological Heritage Management of 1990, which is that's not an easy thing to do, especially when a lot of this work happened before 1990, before there were set standards. So this is so for this monument to have the full rubber stamp of, yeah, this is as accurate as it's ever really going to be to our knowledge is a very big deal, and it's one of the things that helps makes the site feel as impressive as it does, is that we actually did the job right.
What's kind of crazy to me that I just found out from reading this was that Newgrange and the site around it, Boinne, of the entire 780 hectare site, only 32 hectares are in state ownership, which
Yep.
is less than in 2011. So there's very few parts of this that are actually state owned and run, of which include Noth and Newgrange, the two most iconic aspects of this site.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
a lot
there
of private ownership.
yeah, there is a lot of private ownership, and Newgrange itself was Campbell's property when he went to move the stones and found it. So this land was all privatized in a patchwork of ownership prior to anyone knowing this stuff was there or anyone caring that it was there, and just extracting land ownership from the quagmire that is Irish history is very difficult and very contentious. uh, there's a lot of issues just around that alone.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
And we're not here to get into any of that, but the this artifact or this site is it's of outstanding importance in prehistoric Europe. It shows major expression of megalithic art, and it is very clearly an important ritual center. So it hits it hits several criterion uh, for UNESCO in some very major ways, and it's very clear just from some of the images you can see if we click if we click on the little images under the main one, Justin, for them.
Yeah.
Just, you can see like a list of images. Like you can see this is big, this is beautiful.
Well, and then two things
at the
from the
art.
images. Like, you could see the main stone here with all the carvings on it. The carvings, we don't know the true meanings behind them, but they're clearly there for decoration and clearly there to adorn the rock. You see the main entrance chamber, and you see the solstice antechamber above it that allows light in on the solstice. Like, this was truly a massive undertaking to build and to construct, and the amount of precision that's involved. This clearly was an important site. It was clearly something that these hunter-gatherers felt convicted enough to construct and to make and to keep. So clearly UNESCO is on point with keeping this a preserved site.
I mean, I wouldn't so much call them hunter gatherers at this point, really.
They didn't have any settlements at this point.
I do believe Bruna Boinne itself refers to the people who built it as early farmers.
Okay, so
at the very least, pastoral.
It is a pastoral society. This site was constructed in 3200 BCE, so it is Neolithic period for the most part. So it is at a time when farming would be in existence,
or at least because farming did spread out, or at least pop up relatively later for other parts of Europe. But at the very least, farming has been at least introduced.
Yeah, pastoralism and at least passing cultivation of crops does exist for the people who were building this monument, but doesn't take anything away from it just by the fact that they had garden hose.
And it is in no way, shape, or form related to aliens. And on that terrible bombshell, I think we should wrap up today's episode. Is there any final comments you have on the site?
It's never aliens.
It's never. I don't think this one has the alien association with it too much beyond just the.
I just
was it
to make a point.
Just the keystones.
So
much. True, what are they meant to be? But like, I don't. This one doesn't. This one, fortunately, does not get the alien rap nearly as much as so many others. And let's keep it that way, folks.
Yeah.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, leave a like down below. If there's a topic you would like to see us cover, leave a comment down below. And be sure to hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week with another heritage.